Welcome to a very special episode of the DJ Focus Podcast. I like to title this podcast right here, Professor and Focus Argues. I ain't gonna say that we purposely ain't get no guests. I'm gonna say no good guests acting a damn fool tonight, even though that's why we came on late. We was waiting for them. But we can't wait no longer. So we're going to go on and change the format a little bit. And we're going to go with Focus and Professor Argues tonight. I need y'all, everybody in the comments section, everybody watching this podcast. First of all, I need you to make sure you like the podcast, share the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, make sure you comment, make sure you do everything we need you to do. But more importantly, I need you to tell me who right and who wrong tonight. Because me and Professor about to argue tonight. We're going to argue. I'm going to purposely argue with this dude. Whatever he say, I'm going to argue with him. This is what we doing tonight. All right? This is my boy. It's my brother. It's my co-host. But tonight, it's just me and him on the couch. So we going to get some good point of views going on. All right? I ain't going to do no introductions today. We not doing no, hey, what's your name, what's your occupation. Big shout out to my guest that's coming next week. Big shout out to my guest that's coming next week, though. Couch going to be deep next week, but this week, it's just me and Professor. I'm on his ass tonight. All right, pause. That's a pause. All right. Move that back a little bit. Let me know how my mic sound. Let me know if we sound good. All right, let me make sure this live is pinned to the top of my feed. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody who came out and supported season 1 of the DJ Focus podcast. It really means a lot to us. I'm not even going to hold you. Big shout out to all my hosts, all my co-hosts, everybody that came through. Listen, we can't do this without y'all. I want to shout out to all my Twitch people, all my Facebook people, all my YouTube people, all my IG people, all my Bigo Live people. Whatever platform you watch on, we thank you. We appreciate you. And this one is for y'all. Professor, is you ready?
Let's do it.
Is you ready to get smoked tonight?
I mean... Everyone has a dream.
I said, is you ready to get smoked tonight?
Let's go. Let's get it.
All right. So, Professor. You heard about Ja Morant, right?
Yes.
No. I need you to speak up because we yelling tonight. I'm going to argue with you.
We are going to have a conversation tonight.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
This is an argument.
This is going to be a great
You're
debate.
You're going down, buddy.
This is going to be a debate. You ever watch The Great Debaters? You did not.
I was actually in the debate club. Leave me alone.
Oh, okay. All right. Actually,
I'm lying.
Oh, all right.
But my name means the debater. That's what it means in Arabic. All right? So watch yourself because I'm on your ass tonight.
That's good to know because your name right now is Focus. And that's what you're going to need to do in order to beat me in this debate. So, let's get it.
All right. We'll see. All right. You heard of Ja Morant, right? You heard of this whole situation. So I got a question for you, man. What's your thoughts on Ja Morant? Who do you think is ultimately to blame for Ja Morant's actions primarily? Is it his parents? Is it him? Is it the system? Is it the music? Who you think is to blame primarily for Ja Morant acting a goddamn fool again?
I think everything around the actual answer are influences. You know, music influences everyone. You know, your social life, it's that to the third. But I think the biggest person that has to take responsibility is him. And the reason I say that is because he already made it. You know, so with you already being able to make it to that status, like I just think that there's a image that you gotta uphold. Especially when those that are in your status, those around you are doing the same thing and you're the fucking outcast. I'm sorry for the profanity and whatnot, but like, how do you do it a second time? A second time? Like it's like a hard head makes a soft behind. You understand what I'm saying? And so if he didn't learn the first time, I don't think he's gonna. And it sucks to be like I'm so like, a little bit on the fence of it because of the fact that he's a young black man in the NBA, and we root for stuff like that in the hood. But it's also a disappointment to see that and to keep giving him chances. Like I just think that for kids coming up, that want to be in the NBA, they also have to see the consequences of those actions, those type of actions, because the kids are going to see stupid stuff every day, but like, how do people pay for the stupid things that they do? So I just think that, if I'm not mistaken, he got suspended again. I think that the consequence should be a little bit stronger than that.
All right. So since we're here arguing tonight, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say that the number one reason Ja Morant is acting a fool out here is the system. I think the system working on all of us. And although a lot of NBA players might not have went down the path that he went down, although, some may have, some different. We don't know all the ones who maybe didn't make it because they did go down that bad path, right? But it's only a few hundred, less than 1,000 NBA players. To me, Ja Morant is a representative of a culture that is forcing us towards guns, criminality, all of this extra stuff, right? I feel like the system is more comfortable with having a thug, killer image of a black man, and that's what they post up out there. Like, how do you do it twice? There's this obviously some sort of connection that you're trying to make with the streets, connection you're trying to make with, black,
with that.
you know what I'm saying? Like with young black youth, you feel me?
Like, I don't disagree with that, but I just think that, like, when you say it like that, it's like everyone else in the hood, we just trying to be cool because of what we see. So we're just trying to blend into what's cool. Like, and if you're not as big as he is, if you just in the streets, like waving your gun on camera, that's some cool shit. Like, chicks like dangerous dudes, chicks like dudes who look like they getting money, waving your gun,
so
waving
you agree
your
with
bread.
Me?
No, what I'm saying. You're
so
crazy.
I win
You
that
gotta
first
listen.
point?
No, you gotta listen.
I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is that portion of it doesn't take away the accountability, because when you go to school, for example, because he's young, so you go to school and you come home and your parents found out that you did something crazy, and then so what do? You like, well, my friends was doing this, that, to the third. Well, you don't go to school to have friends. You go there to learn. And so therefore, that you got in trouble, and majority of the people at school didn't. A majority of the people had a regular day. Why? Because they were following rules and they were learning. And then you have, the group of friends that you may want to, they're probably cooler than the average person in school. So therefore, you want to follow after them. But that's not the smart decision. And so it's not an excuse. You still got to hold that kid accountable, and that's why he either gets detention or suspension, or he even gets expelled depending on what he did. The same thing applies. We don't just teach kids in school, literature and math and science. We teach them behavior. We teach them how to be able to blend into society and not be an outcast. You understand what I'm saying? So, no, I think accountability on him is the biggest thing.
So, I mean, I think it's a difference between following your friends in a school and following what you're being bombarded with 24/7 in the media, the music, everything you can identify with. Period. Like,
but that's a social life.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everything you can identify with. I think the level of conditioning that they got these young boys being conditioned to purposely, this thing takes millions and billions of dollars of propaganda. It takes a willful lack of recognition on the fact of how this music and the imagery is affecting the minds of the kids. Like, at the end of the day, somebody wants this shit out there, and somebody wants it being overtly bombarded into the minds of the youth so that they can be conditioned into believing that this is cool. How could you give up, like, potentially all that money twice in a year, though? Like, he did this. How could you give up all of this stuff if you don't feel as though there is, some validation in holding that gun, if brandishing that gun up and above, you understand what I'm saying? Up and above, what he can get monetarily from the NBA or from Nike or from whatever. He feels though his validation will come more from the streets. Like being a basketball player, making it, none of that don't mean nothing. I'm willing to risk it all to show you how much of a thug I am. Who made that paradigm? That young black thugs all of a sudden.
Well, let me ask you this: who's he trying to set that?
What you want to be like?
Who's he trying to set that gangster image for? So like, who's he trying to send that message to? Is it society? Is it the people that's condemning him for this shit? You know what I'm saying? Is it the NBA who suspended him the second time around, or is it actual niggas in the street?
Hold
if he's trying to create that image for real dudes in the street, that's not helping him either. That's not.
I'm not saying they're helping him.
All right. What I'm saying is, it's not. He's not getting their attention either, as far as on the good level. Like doing certain things on camera, you get exposed, you get confronted by real gangsters. Ironically on camera, they like to put that shit on YouTube. Like, oh, this nigga was saying he was a real thug. All right, let's go confront him. Let's go talk about it. If I'm not mistaken, they did this shit a few times on Tekashi, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah. So, my point is that if I'm not mistaken, there was a video of 50 Cent calling him a bitch. 50 Cent, one of the niggas niggas don't like to beef with in the industry.
Calling who? Ja Morant?
Yeah, Ja Morant. Yeah. So it's like you have an example of a real gangster looking at this nigga and saying, no, it's not. He's not. That's. He probably and he's in the NBA and he doesn't have to, and you got a real gangster. So therefore, that discounts real niggas. As him being as them being the ones that he's trying to get this message out to. Like, yeah, this is who I am. This is.
But I'm not just saying that he's trying to get the message out to the people. What I'm saying is that he feels validated by brandishing the gun. He feels as though.
But that's what I'm saying. Who's providing that validation? Who is it? Because like I said, if it's not the real thugs, right, and it's not the NBA because they're condemning him, and it's not his fans because everybody coming at him and on social media, then who's he actually getting validation from?
But that's
besides himself.
That's after the fact. He still was seeking validation from every faction you just mentioned. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe not the NBA, but the rappers and the street kids and look. It may not be the real thugs. It may not be the real gangsters. It may not be the NBA. But the youth, he knows that the youth is turned on by this. He knows that young urban kids, even white kids now, is turned on by this. We was all young. Being a thug was cool at a certain point in all of our lives. So at the end of the day, the NBA don't got to validate them. The thugs don't got to validate them. But the youth, which they come in the masses, and the masses is turned on. The masses of the youth is turned on by the thug behavior and the thug ways and the thug whatever. So that's who he's seeking the validation from. He's getting the validation from the masses, or that's who he's seeking it from. You
that's very
what I'm
contradicting validation if that's true. Because we're only speaking in theory, right? So therefore, we don't know where his mindset really is. However, if he's looking to youth for this validation, then that contradicts it because youth look towards him. Youth look towards him to create the image of who I want to be when I grow older, when I get older. That's why youth look to basketball players, because they have everything that the youth don't. You know what I'm saying? And when I say the youth, I'm talking in urban society, right? I'm talking about young black kids.
Jamal Knight, what up? What's good? Cat, what up? Catherine Bailey, Candace Tyner, what's good? We see y'all on the chat. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. So I think that if he's looking towards the youth for validation, I think that would be a big contradiction to who he is, because you're supposed to set an example for the youth. You're not supposed to.
I think you arguing what he's supposed to do, though, as opposed to who he was seeking validation from. Like, at the end of the day, look, when we post shit, we seek validation. You feel me? When that girl was in the gym and she posted that dude looking at her and she was like, oh my God. She didn't know she would get the backlash. She put out an apology, but she posted that still seeking validation. So you don't know that you're not going to get the validation from these people, or you don't feel as though you still seeking that validation. But my point is, why is it that an NBA player who rich, who got Nike contracts, still feels as though he can get validation from brandishing the gun? And you can't tell me it don't got nothing to do with the hundreds of thousands of songs that's telling you that shooting and killing and rolling with the Heat and all of that is what you need to be.
I want to
doing.
agree because I do agree with the concept that
Like keeping
black.
a whole 100 stacks.
I do agree with the concept that in America, black murder is normal. You know, I agree with that. I agree with that idea. However, he's the only one, and he did the shit twice. You know, so therefore, whatever system and message that is in play, that it is in play for sure. I just don't think that he's the one that we should be naming an example of a victim of, honestly, because of the fact that he's the only one. Like he's the only one. You get what I'm saying? He made a. You fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's the way the NBA should be looking at this shit. So therefore, I'm just wondering why the second time is even a possibility of being suspended. If you ask me.
What you think he should get kicked out the league altogether?
I think it should set an example. Like, yeah, if you ask me, because it would set an example as to the type of image that you should be able to set, especially since you were already given a second chance anyway. Now, this is like a third chance. Like, he's being suspended, so he's going to come off suspension, and then therefore, if he gets to play in the NBA, he gets a third shot. What message are you sending? You get to wave a gun. Like, like I said, there's certain things that, like, when you're in the NBA or even college basketball, you have to hold up a professionalism. Like,
okay.
Remember that movie?
He said he should get kicked out. They wilding in the chat. They said kick Ja Morant out the league.
Remember that movie, Coach Carter?
Okay.
All right, so I can't speak on every team, right? But that coach, like, he was trying to teach his boys how to be men.
Okay.
So outside of the basketball team, like, they had to keep up with their grades. On certain days, he told them that they had to wear ties. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
A basketball team that they had to wear ties. So he was trying to teach them how to be good members of society.
But they were still in the hood.
But exactly.
Didn't one of them get smoked under Coach Carter? I remember that movie.
No, man, that was one. You know what? You're so damn stupid.
Listen,
the one who got smoked was one of their uncles. Okay, and then he was in the street.
Listen.
All right, so that doesn't.
But look,
that's very irrelevant. My point is that on basketball teams, you're taught discipline. All right, and so it's like he's contradicting the whole idea of being on a team. Like, you're on a team, like, you make them look bad as well when they invite you back after doing dumb shit on the street.
Okay, all right, okay. I get it. All right. I still think, that even the example you just gave, Coach Carter, he made them wear shirts, he made them wear ties, he made them do that because he understand the influence of the street was that great, right? It was that heavy on all of these that man had to try to put rules and laws in place to counteract and counterbalance that. You understand what I'm saying? Point is, the system is still hard at work. And it's not just on Ja Morant, it's on a lot of young people making badass decisions that's running around here that's not doing with the smart thing. You feel me? Ja Morant,
what was that statement you just said?
He just
You said the system is what? The system is still at work?
At work, yeah.
Okay. So isn't that why
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Big shout out to everybody on Bigo Live. Bigo Live, we see y'all. Follow us on Bigo. We be lit over there. Iman, what up? Tatiana, what up? DJ, what up? What's going on? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for everybody for joining my live. Go ahead.
Isn't the system being at work the reason why Coach Carter implemented the rules and regulations he had for his team?
Yeah.
He already knew this ahead of time. So therefore, if he knew this ahead of time and he taught his students and his players the same concept, then when they go out and they get to play for college ball or NBA ball, shouldn't that information already be applied because the coach taught you this? And then on top of that, it's Ja Morant around his peers, you know? And it's not like he's the only black man. I'm just saying.
So you telling me one coach telling you, big shout out to Jeff Bass, brother Bartholomew Jackson, what's good? So you telling me, Bobby?
That's not what I said.
So you telling me one coach telling you to wear a shirt and tie is more influential or more or that information should stay more in your brain.
No, I stated this already.
Let me finish.
No, because I stated it already. You just contradicted my statement. I had stated that being on the team teaches you discipline.
No, I'm not talking about that point. I'm talking about when you said that information should have went with them to college. And what I'm saying is, how is you saying that information from one coach should have went to them to college when they've been getting bombarded with information from the streets, from the environment, from the music, from the movies, from or the poverty they grew up in, that information is going to follow you way more than Coach Carter. At the end of the day, they always say you can take a person out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the person.
That's not true.
So
that's not true. That's not true. And Ja Morant,
that's what I'm saying.
Ja Morant serves as an exception to that shit because of the fact that you see people come out of the hood and change their ways, change their personality. You see people in the hood that see the way in personality and doesn't become that type of person because of it. That's a psychological
that's the exception
thing.
to the rule, though.
No,
that's
it's
the
not.
exception to the rule. Yeah. At the end of the day, if somebody come along and they decide to not fall in the traps of the system, don't mean that the system's still not making the traps. If I'm digging holes in the earth and putting leaves over top of them, and then your ass falling in, it is the argument. No. Who's more at fault? Is it the person for falling into the trap, or is it the system for setting it? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it is the argument. It's very much so the argument. Because
Ja Morant is the exception. Ja Morant is the only one in the NBA doing that shit.
Yeah, but there's only 300 players in the NBA. When you juxtapose Ja Morant to the millions of black children and youth, he's making bad decisions like a lot of them. He's just the only one in the NBA doing it. It might be niggas in church doing it. It might be niggas in the mosque making bad decisions. It might be dudes with good jobs making bad decisions. Good parents making bad decisions. Good families making bad decisions. Husbands, wives, whatever, that's making bad decisions. But at the end of the day, like, you can't negate the system and its fault in making sure that we making these bad decisions and making them at a high rate. When you juxtapose Ja Morant to NBA players, absolutely, it's going to be one in whoever. But juxtapose
young black men.
Look, hold on. Juxtapose the youth in the hood that's actually out here drilling to the youth that's trying to do something. That's also a small percentage. All of our kids not out here wailing, even though they get the publicity for it. The ones who is wailing, all of our kids not out here wailing. It's a small percentage, 5-10% of our youth that's actually out here drilling. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so, like, at the end of the day, you got to place blame on the system paramount first and foremost, period. Because if we could topple a system that's more comfortable with black criminals than black revolutionaries, then we would have more NBA players standing up for themselves. More NBA players standing up for their people than out here brandishing guns and acting a damn fool.
Hey, what I think about that, talking loud doesn't make you right. That's what I think about. All right?
Better get loud, damn it.
No, it doesn't make you right at all. Because like I said, the point that and
let's go to the chat real quick. Let's go to the chat real quick.
Okay, all right.
All right. Big shout out to Candace Cat. We see y'all. Jamal Knight, what's good? Big shout out to Samad, my building. Big shout out to my boy Tom Fool Flockery. All right. Does he feel powerful with a gun? Does he have beef with someone that he is trying to show that he should not be fucked with? I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, who don't feel powerful with a gun? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody feels more powerful with a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, yes, he does feel more powerful with a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, does he have beef? I don't know. But I do know that you go look it up. Ja Morant be getting into things. You feel what I'm saying? Shannon Sharp was just beefing with his pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the court. You know what I mean? Him, Ja Morant, all of them, they was yelling over LeBron and all of that. Like, when you out here living that life, you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask
and
you
when
a
you a
question.
thug like that, you probably pushing niggas in the club. I don't know this. But
Let me ask you a question, though. Like, why is it that
what happened?
Why do we feel the need to brandish guns anyway? When the average, like, it's a high percentage of people in America that are gun owners anyway, and they don't go brandishing theirs. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're just responsible gun owners, and on top of that, like, a lot of gun owners tend to have a lot more guns than most of these thugs, and they use them as trophies. Hey, I got this, I got that. They like to clean them, they like to take them apart and then put the shits together. They have an art and form into this shit. Yeah. You know, like people who are really into ammunition and guns, but not to brag about this shit, right? They don't go on camera, so yeah, you feel more powerful with a gun, but you don't feel the need to actually go and showing it off.
See, but once again, I
Why are
disagree with
you
your
know, black
ass.
no, because black people are the only ones that
Hold
like
up,
to show
hold up.
off how many guns we got and
Right.
which one that we have, and you
Professor.
know what I'm saying, how many bodies that will take with the
Professor.
shit. Like gun owners,
Professor.
gun owners in general, that's not
Oh, I
that's
forgot I
not
was
their
on Bigo.
mentality.
But Professor, that's not true. You got senators, congressmen taking pictures with their family with guns.
I just said
This
that.
NRA shit is real. When I tell you the National Rifle Association will come to a political event strapped down, this right to bear arms, Second Amendment, all that is reality, bro. And I'm telling you like this now, they do take pictures and all of that.
It's a
with
difference.
it. You feel me? Like, so I mean, you say it's a difference, but that was
a hell of a
actually going to be my
difference.
next question to you. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference between John Morant waving the gun, this, that, and the third, talk into the mic? You keep telling me to back it up. All right, what's the difference between John Morant waving the gun on camera and these politicians putting their guns all on camera? Like, these politicians put their guns on camera all the time. They fight for the right to have guns. John Morant don't got no criminal charges. He ain't get locked up for the gun. It wasn't illegal, obviously. It was obviously legal. He was in the right to carry state. What is the issue with him having a gun in the first place? El Professor? Like,
What's the issue with having?
Yeah.
I ain't got no issue with the Second Amendment. We're talking about them posting pictures that are waving it.
that's what I'm saying. What's the issue?
Like-
When congressmen do it all the time.
But you see, I'm not
Big shout out
aware-
to John Smith, Squeak Williams. We see y'all in the chat. Go ahead, answer your question. Then I'm gonna get to the chats. Go ahead.
See, because it's as if you saying the same thing as what we do in the hood, which is very confusing. Because I don't know if you have information as far as like these niggas is in suits saying, "Come and get me right now." Like, what's up? This is my hood. This, that, to the third. I don't know how there isn't a difference between those two. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now. If they're taking a picture of their family with guns or whatnot, you got families that like to go hunting. We don't talk about using guns to go hunting. We're talking about using it to go and kill another black man. They don't talk about using it to go and kill another white man, for example. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we do. This is literally what we do. Like, we
Hold on, time out. That's a poor excuse because
Poor excuse.
Yes,
Like, my
because
goodness, yo.
these same dudes that's fighting for guns have no respect for the mass shooters, for the Kyle Rittenhouses that's running around there at 17, 18 years old with AR-15s trying to stop protests, talking about something. I was out here. I was trying to be security at the protest. Bro, you 18, you not 17,
What are you
you're
talking
not even
about?
supposed to
People
have a
fighting
gun.
for the Second Amendment?
No, what I'm saying is this. You can't just say John Morant automatically wanted to kill black people because he was brandishing a gun. When these NRA congressmen is out here and they got guns in their pictures, but they not taking responsibility for the mass shooters, for these kids out here that's out there shooting, acting a damn fool out here. So why should John Morant take responsibility for the young thugs?
He's not taking responsibility.
I'm just
He
saying, in your scenario, he is.
That's not.
Come on now,
You
Professor.
can't switch around my words and then just say your scenario. You gotta actually listen to what I'm telling you, okay? And I was answering a specific question that you had.
Come on now, Professor. Yo, we looking
This
at
is
it on the TV. That's still good on the chat. It's live, right? We good? Hey, yo, big shout out to everybody on my Bigo, though. Real quick, I want to shout out everybody on my Bigo. Michelle, Rika, Garments, MDM, Bella, Niku, Prim Wedding, Zara, Professional M, Nyan, Michael, Rashawn, Sky One, Mary, Demi, Dima, Luke, Doug, Beauty, Ari, Carmen, Miss Prachi, TMJ, Farzana, Marco, Charles, all y'all, everybody on my Bigo. It's too many of y'all for me to be shouting out everybody, but I love y'all. Jalen, Zopfi, Danique, all y'all. What's good, man? Big shout out to everybody on my Bigo. Y'all always show love, man. Shout out to everybody showing them hearts too and dropping them comments. Let's go to some chats real quick, and then I'm gonna finish smoking, Professor. Don
right.
Choleon. All he doing is turning up to music with a legal gun in his hand. He not pointing it at nobody. He not busting no guns. He just doing young people stuff. Broke no laws outside of chipping that little boy up. All right, now that's it. I agree with him there.
See, but we didn't. We're not talking about laws though, are we? See, yeah, that's why I'm saying like the NBA suspending him. We're not talking about what laws he might have broke. We don't. No, he didn't get arrested. Ain't no cop. We're talking about some shit that he immaturely put up on video. You get what I'm saying? You're an NBA player. Why do you feel the need to do shit like that when your peers don't? And your peers are just as young as you. They just as black
Who is
as
his
you.
peers though?
I'm talking about other NBA players.
Yeah,
like,
but that's
like,
who he chill with. That's who he compete against.
See, that's
you
even
see
worse.
who he was riding with?
Exactly.
That nigga was a thug.
Exactly. But
That
it
nigga
doesn't
was
matter.
riding with a gangster.
And you see, you say that's not who he chilled with, right? So you don't have to chill with them, right? But at the same time, you have a team. You practice with that team. You get what I'm saying? Like you play games. Like, and on top of that, that team is about their money. That you're with them because that's another reason. Like, you're also about your money. That's a business. This is your job, your career. This is what's going to make you set in life. You understand? And then you're talking about his fucking social life. Why is that important, bro? Like, most people cut off their social life to make better life decisions. And you're saying
most people,
yeah.
no. Some people,
All
the
right.
rare few of us can cut off our social life to make good decisions. Most of us, we try to incorporate our social life into, our whatever we. I mean, majority of us, like people.
And you account for majority of us, yeah? Because I haven't heard this from anybody,
bro. Trust me, if everybody had the willpower and the fortitude to just cut off everything just to make the right decision, it'd be a lot more people doing that.
Okay.
They don't do that. When you cut people off, and you cut everything off, and you become an introvert, and you try to work on yourself, it's a lot of psychological things that happen. You got FOMO, you got fear of missing out. You feel me? I'm not there. What's going on?
It's not easy, but I see that more often though. I say, I'm about to stop talking to people. I'm about to start cutting them off. That's not an uncommon thing.
All right, man. Listen, if you think Professor won, type of 2 in the chat. If you think I won, type of 1 in the chat. John Morant, type of 1 in the chat. If you think Professor won, 2 for Professor, 1 for me. All right, I'm on his ass. Oh, listen, why we froze up there?
Funny.
Don't worry about it.
It's good. We still good.
Yes, sir.
All right. John Smith, he says NBA Cares is a program for youth that look up to these players. He got to do better because they watching him. I totally agree. That goes back to the first point we argued or whatever. But the point you made about self accountability. You feel what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, he got to do better. Kids are looking. I totally agree with you there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
image.
Somebody said Professor won.
Somebody
said Focus, you wrong.
He's a public.
2 for Professor.
He's a public image.
Professor.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know that was gonna be against my ass because I'm saying it's the white man.
Candace said Professor.
All right. I don't get no love. Cat said I plead the fifth. All right. All right. So, Professor, I guess you win that one. Everybody says that it's not it's John Morant's fault. It don't got nothing to do with the system. Even though we dealing with a system that you can't turn on TV without every black person you see telling you to shoot a gun, bust a gun, and there's somebody out there who have a vested interest in making sure that image of black people is not only put out there, but is given pure, unfettered, unbridled, access to the minds of the youth. Don't none of that matter though, right?
No,
right,
it does matter.
You right?
And I agree
right.
with him fully for the first damn time. The second time, you're just being ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The first time, yeah, I agree with all of that. Because then, you get to assess the situation. Like, I made this decision because of myself and also, like, the people around me. I'm listening to all this music and then these decisions I made. First time, yeah, but then to go through it and then do the shit again, like, it's what are you asking for?
All right. Snaps for Professor. Since he won according to the chat, everybody hates Focuses. But you know what? The road to heaven is narrow, and everybody disagreed with Jesus. When Jesus was out, the people was against him. They stoned him. They crucified him. So I don't expect y'all to be on my side. The system working on y'all too.
I'm speaking on the moral
I don't
perspective,
expect y'all to be on my side. It's all good. I rock with the minority. You heard? That's all of the worthy prophets of God was the minority.
This is
so I rock with the minority.
I speak of good morals as well.
All right. That was good, though. I like it. I think we got a lot of people out. My wife gonna plead the fifth. You ain't shit. You supposed to rock with me.
Yes.
All right. So we gonna get into our next topic. Hold on, let me see. So, do you think Ja Morant's social life? One more question. Is taking a toll on his decision making? Is he hanging around the wrong people? Is he hanging around the best people for his image? Is he hanging around the best people for his image? Let's see. He hangs around thugs and gangsters. So, no, I don't think so. I think when you hang around like-minded, high-life individuals, and first of all, let me say this. This episode of the Focus Podcast is brought to you by New Life Legacies, New Life Clothing. Make sure y'all follow New Life on Instagram. Make sure y'all Google New Life. New Life, this is all about New Life right here. We got our full sponsor. Matter of fact, we got a snap for having our sponsor, New Life, in the building. All right, it's all about New Life. Y'all better make sure y'all look out for New Life because they got everything you need. They just opened up a store up in Southside Easton. They got everything you need up in there. Clothing, sunglasses, jewelry, whatever you need. You go up to New Life and holler at New Life Legacies. They got y'all covered. So yeah, is he hanging around the wrong people? No. I mean, absolutely. He is hanging around the wrong people. Yes, he is. When you hang around like-minded individuals and people that elevate you and one-up you, you tend to try to keep one up. You tend to keep leveling up. You understand what I'm saying? So, who is he hanging around? He hanging around a bunch of thugs. He hanging around a bunch of people who making a bad decision. But who are those people being influenced by? The music, the system.
True.
So once again, the system's still working on him through his peers. But yet you telling me it's not the system.
You said the system is always working.
The system is always working.
So
it's
does that
working
mean
on
we
him
aren't?
through his peers.
So does that mean that we aren't?
No, we are.
So if we're aware of the system that's in work,
I know we're not aware.
okay.
We're not aware. How is we aware? We literally turn on the TV and they blame everything for the black condition except rap.
Yeah, I know.
Except
but the thing is
the
that
poverty that was induced by.
yeah. So it's a
This
small.
is-
I know. I get it's a small percentage of people that are aware, right? I
That
just
are
think
aware.
that
Most of
I
us
just
not aware.
I
We
just
think
think
busting the gun is cool.
I just think that Ja Morant should fall within that small percentage, being as though he did the shit twice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, twice as wild. I'm gonna have to, twice as wild. So you can look at it from either two ways. You can look at it twice as wild, so that means he's a pure asshole, or twice as wild. Why would you recidivate? Why would you go back to doing the same things? The system is working on your ass, goddammit. Your ass. You want to go right back for the same validation? They caught you once. But look, fool me once. What George Bush say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Hey, I
All
said
right.
that in the beginning.
I mind you, I only went against him because I had to. We arguing.
Shout out to Ja Morant.
All right, we get that to the professor. All right. Our next topic is posting news online. What do you think mainly is motivating? And when I say posting news, I mean almost nudes too. Like, girls out here, they'll put anything online right now for attention. They want to show cleavage and make sure that they show the scantily clad, outfits and all of that. So what's going on with this, right? Posting nudes, posting scantily clad, provocative things online. All right. Big shout out to Candace. She said God needed to go back to the drawing board because this ain't it. I feel you, girl. All right. What do you think is mainly motivating women, modern women of today, to freely post pictures of their body online? Professor.
I think the biggest motivation is likes and subscribes. That's what I think it is.
Likes and subscribes?
Yeah. And the reason I say that is because, it's one thing for us to assume that it's mainly for a man's attention, but honestly, women get the same type of attention from women as well. you know. And if it's not for sex, it's basically like the complimenting of the body. You know, women do that all the time with other women, and they enhance that idea in their friends' mind, their circles. Like, yeah, you should get this done, and yeah, you should. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when women go up on, you know, on the website, on the page, and they see this, they like to say, give hearts. You look cute, girl. It's that to the third. It's actually they getting more validation from other women than they would from men, because if men are doing it, then they're kind of finding a way to do so without being, you know, trying to be called a pervert or, you know, this, that to the third. It's like he's trying to flirt with you. You know what I'm saying? So he's either going to, and it's going to be called shooting your shot, or he's just not going to at all. He's just going to look. Women, on the other hand, they get to compliment each other and not feel any guilt behind it. You get what I'm saying? And like women, and women getting those compliments, they're going to, they kind of get a big head off of it. And so you see more and more pictures coming out, you know? So
Okay.
I think that, I do think that it's a popularity thing. You know,
All right. So what do I think the main reason motivating modern women to today freely post pictures of themselves, bodies online? The system again. We're going back to the government.
Yo.
The system. We went from UNITY, who you calling a bitch, to I used to throw lips on it. Now I throw on the handle it like a real. We have seen a deterioration in modesty all around the board. In church, they coming up in there wearing what they want. I seen a post yesterday. Girls up in there like it's a fashion show wearing all of these low cleavage and all of this. Attention, yeah, yes, I agree. But there's a lot of ways to get attention. Women would get your attention back in the days through their loyalty, through their intellect, through, you know, their strength, through, you know, the fact that they you know, they knew how to, you know, rear the children and tend to the home, and you know whatever the case may be. You could get attention in other ways. You didn't have to show your body to get attention. We went from UNITY to PUSSY, like my boy Dodge. Big shout out to Jeff for that. John Trolio. He said we went from UNITY to PUS. And it's true. Like, at the end of the day, we have become more comfortable all around the board with a lack of modesty, with a lack of caring about making sure that you are, you know, covered up or you know, respect yourself. RESPECT, whatever you want to call it. You feel me? We had RESPECT back in the day. Nowadays we got, you know, all of the, you know, WAP. You know what I mean? Like WAP.
I mean, for real, no exaggeration. Like, every
Went
time
from
you open up an
RESPECT
Instagram or Facebook page, it's literally an ass right in front of
To
you.
what?
Like, it's not even no exaggeration at all. It's just
I agree with you. It is for the attention. I agree
like,
with you
it's
for
like
the attention.
mad common for
But
it.
but it's not. It's the system at work too. Feminism hard at work. They make it seem like it's a flaw to cover yourself up or be modest. But it's some sort of right of female passage to go out there and shake that ass. Watch yourself. Show me what you're working with. At the end of the day, we got a deterioration within the morality of our country, of our system, of our, you know, world, if you want to. Like, no, we can't just blame the individual always and just say, yo, you want attention. We got to say, who made it cool for you to get attention this way? I remember a time growing up when strippers was reviled and despised. We loved y'all when we went out to the club, but we would never wife you, respect you, anything now. Congratulations, we just received 100 messages on the app. Big shout out to everybody. 100 comments. We're going to get to the 100th comment. We're going to make sure that we cash app y'all. New Life, our sponsor. That's what's up. He said the 100th comment was, "It's the instant attention. This is the digital video age." Okay, it's the attention, and that's the cliche common answer. But we got to look deeper. Who is it that made it okay for us to get attention that way? Why is it, you know what I mean, okay for us to appeal to our lower desires, to our lower selves?
I mean, that's a hard question because honestly, like, weren't we already doing it in movies and TV shows before the internet?
What you mean? As far as what? Like, as far as showing our bodies and all of that?
To an extent, yeah. Especially TV shows like
I don't know. I don't think we was doing it. You gotta understand.
because we had to do within what was available. Right? So the internet wasn't available. There was no such thing as Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. So like I think that how fast the information is and how accessible it is has changed.
When you say
Yeah.
what was we already doing that on TV? What do you mean? Like doing what on TV? Like
All right, so
showing ass? No.
that's because like we've always sexualized women. We like and women like and that's not like we society, women and men alike sexualize women. That's always been a thing in movies and TV shows alike. Like that's always been but it's just that now with social media, with people being able to talk about how they feel about it, you know, they get to say this shouldn't be a problem, this, that, and you get to hear it over and over again, and it's in your echo chambers. And now you just got women that's posting because like who has a problem with it? All you hear as far as conversation goes is, you know, that's cute, this, that, to the third, and in most women's heads, like, let's do it. But like I said beforehand, there was no social media. There was no one talking about how. Like there was probably talks, but probably like in little small social groups, or maybe a little protests. Women should be able to do this, that. But mainly, you know, women the need to want to show their bodies. Like that's always been like on TV for as long as I knew.
All right, but even TV just came out 100 years ago, so it's not something that is built into the mainframe and the framework of human existence or female existence or anything. So all of that shit is still fairly new. But even on TV, we've watched a deterioration, bro. In the 60s and the 50s, they had Bewitched and I Dream of Genies and all of this. Dick Van Dyke, it was wholesome. The jokes was wholesome. There was no cursing. They was wearing dresses, no mini skirts, no none of this. 70s, that went down a little bit. 80s, it went down even further. The 90s, they was damn near naked. 2000s, it was worse. 2010s, even worse. So once again, who is doing this? This is the system. You got what is it? Who controls the TV? Who controls what is it? God damn it, Google it. I'm like, all these letters coming in my head. The FDA, the CDC, the FTC.
Who controls the networks on TV?
Like, you know what I'm saying? To make sure who goes on TV and what goes on, and you know what I'm saying? And like what goes on TV and what doesn't. But anyway, you have government entities that control what goes on.
The FCC.
The FCC, that's who it is.
Federal Communications
Company.
Commission.
Federal Communications Commission, thank you. Jesus Lord. I knew it was 3 letters. The FCC. You got the FCC who control everything who goes on TV. Cable, radio, television, satellite, communication, Wi-Fi, everything. If it go on, the only thing we got now is the internet where you can kind of get, the new media. But even that's being curtailed in a lot of different ways. The FCC. These dudes is responsible for the deterioration of the morality that we see on TV. So when you talk about TV and the influence in girls being naked and nude, that deteriorated. John Smith, big shout out to John Smith. He said, you damn right, I'm reading that teleprompter. But he said Baywatch started it all in the chats. It ain't started. In some ways it did, because by the time you got to Baywatch, you seen a deterioration of morality. So once again, it's go back to the system, deteriorating the morality of what you see on TV, to where now these girls is out here feeling as though, you ever heard of the term sex sells?
Exactly.
Sells to who? Who's selling the sex? Who's buying it? If you say sex sells, that right there is a term from the media, a term from the TV, a term from the radio. Sex sells. If you be sexually provocative, you'll sell more products. Sex sells. So they knew that it was a moral deterioration.
Yeah, you're still like, it's like you're pushing me into telling you that.
Yeah, I'm right this time, nigga.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like you're pushing me into telling you that then there's accountability as well, right? I mean, why wouldn't there be accountability? I mean, so if we're going to blame the FCC, then why wouldn't we blame the people watching? And why do I say that? Is because their shows don't pop off unless the ratings go up. And if people see provocative shit on TV and decide to want to tune in because they're seeing provocative shit on TV, right, then it's up to the people to watch that shit for the FCC to decide to want to keep putting it out. They need their fans. So therefore, you're basically saying majority of people are dirty as hell.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, no, that's not what you're saying
And
at
what
all.
you're doing-
But what I'm basically telling you is the fact that fans also have an accountability of it as well, because the ratings go up because we decide to go out.
No,
and
they
watch
don't.
it.
Not as much as the FCC. Why do we have the FCC? To curtail what is going out to the minds of the masses. You put that thing on TV, 5 people responsible for the 10 people, 20 people responsible for what goes on that television. But it goes out to millions and millions and millions of people, and it can damage them, which is why the FCC even exists, which is why you can't put porn on Fox 5. Because at the end of the day, if it was just about what sells, then you'll be putting porn on Fox 5. But no, they have an obligation to the minds of the masses.
Listen, you know what a pilot is, right?
I do, but the point is, you can't negate the culpability of the people who spending the billions of dollars to put this out there.
No, so what I'm saying is, like, shows get canceled all the time as well from the beginning. So, like, if a show's is not getting the views that they need to for it to pop off from people, that's where the views are coming from people watching it. They put the show out there. If the show's not getting views like it should be, then they'll just cancel it. How many spin-offs have been created from popular shows that we've watched that have been canceled that we never even heard of before? That shit happens because of the fact that people just aren't tuning into it. And so if people are tuning into it, then you have to, like I said, put the accountability on the people watching it, because it's like that's what they wanted, you know? So yeah, there's accountability on them because you giving them what they want. Might as well be the damn devil.
Right, that's what they wanted.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're also saying, yeah, but that's what we wanted.
That's what they wanted. No. The back, you about to walk over the whole podcast. That's what they wanted. Okay, so first of all, let me learn you something, youngin. People have an illusion of what they have, the illusion of, something being what they want.
I agree.
A lot of times, they're force-fed things.
True.
And then they're made to believe it's what they want. You ever heard a song on the radio? You be like, yo, that song whack as hell. But by 3 months of them bombarding you with it every week, you singing along. It's about damn time. Turn up the music. You singing along, even though I like that song from the beginning. But you singing along. It is the bombardment of the masses. At the end of the day, if you're force-fed anything, you won't begin to like it. If you force-fed it. So, I disagree. I believe that I don't think that people naturally are dirty. I believe people are naturally clean. But the system that we are living in is pulling out our dirty desires, our lowest desires. And they doing it on purpose because it's easy for us to appeal to our lower desires. It's a struggle to fight to do what's right. It's easy to do what's wrong. Get up every day, go to work, put 50 hours in, making somebody else rich, struggling just to make enough money to pay my bills, pay my rent, pay my this, my that. This other nigga just robbed the bank and it took him 10 minutes. He got $100,000. That's easy. The hard struggle is always going to be to do what's right. You understand what I'm saying?
I get that.
All right. So when you have a system that's constantly guiding people towards doing what's wrong and appealing them to their lower desire, no, it's easy. It's like Satan at work, nigga. Like, come on. Yeah, do it. It's easy. Go ahead. It's a struggle to not do that. You understand me? So this is why you can't negate the culpability of the system.
I mean, it's not
You
negating.
understand me? You damn right I'm preaching.
No, it's not negating. It's just that the fact that it's a struggle doesn't make it an excuse, because God told us there'll be temptation on earth.
Hold on, let me go to the chat real quick. Our sponsor, New Life, he said, go back up real quick. FCC, record labels, TV heads, movie heads, and the powers behind them, and the rest of the generations of them before. This was later laid out perfectly for them. They put it together. It's facts. It's facts. They control all of it. They make sure that your mind go from left to right and make evil fair seeming. That's what the scriptures said. Well, make evil fair seeming.
Exactly. So temptation, just like exactly what I literally just said. Temptation is something that was always going to be put in front of us, and our ability to turn away from it is how we're tested. So if we fall for it, yes, there's a system in play, but we're still held accountable as well. We have a responsibility to stay away from temptation, not fall victim to it.
I agree that we have some accountability, but I don't believe that our accountability is up and above that of the system.
Hey, when we make a decision,
I
do you think God says, I'm gonna blame the system for that?
Yes, the system is Satan's system. God already said that. The nigga, listen, the good brother told us. He said, listen, I'm going to give the devil a certain time to rule. He said, I'm going to give him 6,000 years. I'm going to give him all his time. We're going to give him all his power. We're going to let him have his world. That's the world we live in. We living in the devil's world. So at the end of the day, this is the devil's system. So yes, he is saying the system ain't right. Because remember, that little serpent in the book of Genesis that little snake in the book of Genesis turned into a serpent by the book of Revelations. He grew in infinite power. They said he deceived 9/10 of the planet. Yes, the system is hard at work. And the system is guided by the enemy, Satan, the devil, whoever you want to call him. So yes, God does have a problem with the system. Absolutely. This ain't his system. All this death, destruction, murder, conquest, blood, sweat, tears, slavery.
Whether he has a problem with the system wasn't in question. It's whether or not he would hold us accountable for falling victim to it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
he would.
He would hold us accountable. So my point is yes, we have to hold ourselves accountable. Yes, the system is in play, but at the same time, we're aware of it.
Yeah, we're not all aware of it though.
Yeah,
remember,
but we are given rules to follow, even if you're not aware of it, right? Like, because all right, so
hold on,
Adam
quick.
and Eve said, don't bite the apple. So Eve didn't know what the consequences would be, but she was given directions on not to bite it. That was the temptation. She said, don't bite it. You do not touch the apple. You can have anything else you want, just do not touch the apple. So what did she do? Because she was told not to touch it, she went and touched it anyway.
Okay.
Temptation. She fell for temptation. That's my point.
Okay.
She individually fell for temptation, and now we have to suffer the consequence for it. Am I right?
But who made the apple?
It doesn't matter. We still suffer the consequence.
Hold up.
You want to look back and say who created it? God didn't hold back on making us suffer the consequences. Is my point.
Who made the apple?
It doesn't.
Answer the question.
It doesn't matter.
All right, but answer the question. Who made the apple?
It doesn't matter.
Who made the apple?
It doesn't matter.
See, this is what we get.
That's
what we get.
That's irrelevant based off of your previous point. That's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant though, because you telling me Eve was given
direction, instruction.
She was given direction.
Her and Adam
was given direction to not bite the apple or to bite the apple. Who made the apple? Who made the possibility for evil? Who made the possibility for sin? Who is responsible ultimately for bringing sin into the world? Because she wouldn't have had an avenue towards sin. She wouldn't have had an avenue towards if the apple wasn't there. Who made the apple?
That's ridiculous.
I just want to know who made the apple.
I don't make God responsible for our decisions.
All right. I'm just saying. The point of the matter is this: the scriptures tell us the devil was given a certain time to rule. He was given power. He was given dominion. He was given all of that to bring the truth of what was out of us, humans. But obviously, based upon Eve in that story, we know what was in humans, right? The ability to do wrong, the ability to lie, the ability to cheat, the ability to do, not what God wanted. So he gives us that ability to lie, to cheat, whatever. But overcoming that in itself is not worth it. We can't just say, look, I didn't lie, or I did lie, and now the whole rest of humanity is good with it. No, we got to give Satan power, dominion, create a whole world of lies, a whole world of deceit, a whole system of lies and deceit. And then those who can overcome that is the one God wants.
So if you didn't
See,
have,
y'all got me preaching out here.
you always
Jesus,
preaching.
Lord.
Let me ask you a question. So if you
Don't talk about Adam and Eve because I'm
You
going to have to
always
get my
preaching.
scriptures
So-
out.
so
We
if
done
you-
went from new folks to new
So if
online,
you-
now we
if-
talking about
So how come you're able to take away accountability without taking away the consequence? Because there is a consequence regardless of what you're saying.
What you mean?
What I mean is, like, she bit the apple, so now there's a consequence. There was a consequence.
I'm not taking away accountability.
Kind of-
I'm just telling you that there's a more appropriate accountability. There's a higher accountability.
You think so because
Yes.
because the thing that you're saying there's higher accountability doesn't pay that price though. That the person who actually committed.
Yes, he
the
does.
fraud-
Yes, they
No.
do. Excuse me. So God made two individuals who said, "Don't bite the apple." She bit it anyway, and now the whole world is born in sin, according to Christian theology.
Okay.
The whole world now wrapped in sin. Oh, Satan done got all this extra time to rule and all of this extra stuff. And you telling me the culpability is not on God up and above that particular individual who bit the apple? Or on it all goes back to divine design. It all goes back to his initial plan.
God made the rules. God's not going to make himself suffer because we broke them.
No, I didn't say that.
Well,
He's
that's
gonna
what
make
I'm
himself
saying. Like,
suffer.
well, like he created them, and yes, there's temptations for us to break them and whatnot, but he's not going to make himself accountable fully because we decided to make the wrong decision. There's still two decisions, focus. There are still two decisions to make. There's the wrong one or the right one.
So God
There's-
knows all.
So yes, there's a 50% chance of you making the wrong or right decision. Yes, the decision is there, so it's a high percentage of you making. But at the same time, there's also just this higher percentage as you not making it, and that's why the consequence is there. He doesn't make you
No, bro.
make
It's
those
not.
decisions.
It's not. Remember, God told Eve, "Don't bite the apple." By the book of Revelations, that same serpent, that snake, is a serpent that deceived 9/10 of the planet. So it's not the same little small or that one decision. This is a system, an entity at this point that is, confounding the world, confusing the world, lying to the world, in control of the world. No, bro. At the end of the day, 9/10 of the planet is being deceived by this system. Yes, God does have a problem with the system. He does. The system is being ran by God's enemy, according to the scripture. He gave the devil a certain time to rule. The devil made a system. So the system is not God's system. It's being ran by the enemy system. You understand what I'm saying?
Good outweighs evil, don't it?
Eventually, but not in this world. Maybe in the kingdom. All right.
God made the plan.
I think we just went good on it. We just went theological.
That was a pretty theological conversation. That was crazy.
Oh, man. I love the fact that we got to argue because sometimes I'll be wanting to agree with this nigga, but I got to argue. I know you do the same thing.
I love disagreeing with this nigga because it's the most
I
logical
know you
thing to
do
do.
the same thing. All right, look. Okay. So let's get back to the chat real quick. Oh, let's go back up. The system. It's a system. It's hard at work. We're not going to negate it. All right, let's go back up to the chats before we go on. The devil is alive. Big Banger King, this shit start on our kids with symbolism and cartoons, especially Disney. That's facts. They start with the young youth. With the young youth. Right now, we just read a book 3 weeks ago called The Gay BCs.
Facts.
with a bunch of people teaching young 4-year-olds about homosexuality. But you telling me it's not the system? That book would never have got put out 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. We're watching a deterioration of morality within the system. You damn right it's the
Ooh,
system.
you know what? Yes, there we go, right there. You just named a good example. The gay BCs is an example of them trying to manipulate the system, right?
Right.
But
Right.
individually speaking, okay, every person that turns gay is on their own decision making. Am I making a point there? Like, so therefore their accountability isn't necessarily only on the system, but their decision making as well. So not every gay person specifically individually is because of the system that they're gay, but just because they decided to be gay.
No.
The gay BCs, like I said, there's a system in place, and that's one factor of it that contributes to it. But at
Okay.
the same time, when you ask a gay person, when you go up to them and say, "Hey, was it the system that made you gay?" Or "It's me, I'm gay." This is who they
of
are.
course that's what
And
they're
so-
gonna
and
say.
all right, so
But when you
you're
have-
going to turn around and say, "No, you are not gay because of you. You are gay because of the system."
No, that's not what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say is that when we living in a world that we have books called the gay BCs teaching children of 4-year-olds about sexuality when they not even supposed to know about sexuality until
Yeah.
sex ed, 8th
Yeah.
grade, 9th grade. You teaching 4-year-olds about sexuality when early, then you can warp their brains and condition them
Which is
into
why I agree.
being. Then when you add, gender affirming care, and you could be 12 years old and chop your joint off and chop your chest off and whatever the case at 12 years old and all of this. Yes, the system does play a part in funneling, a certain amount of children towards that side and path. Are some kids like going to be that way regardless? Maybe, perhaps. Gay people existed before the gay BC's book. I'm not going to say that they're not going to be, but we definitely going up from maybe 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 100 because of the system pouring it on them. So you cannot deny the system's a culpability when you're talking about the influx of quote unquote homosexuality. There is an agenda. Now, granted, you do what you want, but bottom line is there is an agenda, and they starting early on these kids, bro. Like, period.
I don't disagree with that.
All right, so I'm right.
Yeah, right. Shut up.
You agree with me on that? All right. Do you think? Now let's get back to our news online because we went everywhere.
We did.
We went everywhere. That was good though. All right. So do you think, going back to nudes online, do you think that people get more respect if they do it for monetary gain?
Women.
Women get more respect if they do it for monetary gain. Like, in other words,
Yeah, no.
like, if you know what I'm saying, if they do it on OnlyFans as opposed to just doing it on Facebook stories, do they get more or less respect? We gotta get to these chats though too, because we just went all Jesus, and I need to hear what these chats got to say about the Jesus movement. Hold up now. John Smith, temptation is the purest form of evil. Okay, John Smith, we bite the apple or we don't. Okay, I think he agreed with you. He agreed with you on everything. All right, Eve spoke to a snake and ate from the specific tree she shouldn't. Drawing board. Who made the tree, Candace? Who made the apple, Candace? Who made the snake? Huh, Candy? She had one job. She had one job. All right. Men got Adam's apple, so apparently Adam made the apple.
That was funny.
All right. I'm preaching out here. You damn right. New Life Legacies. Okay, she said God made the apple to test the good in us. True. If you were trained to think one way, If you were trained to think one way, what choice do you really have? I agree with you there. If you were trained to think one way, what choice do you really have? You being conditioned. We're not gonna act like social conditioning is not a real thing. We act like our parents. We act like our peers. We act like our brothers. We act like our neighborhood based upon the fact that social conditioning is a real thing. Only the righteous will survive Judgment Day. Big facts. Allahu Akbar. When do you think that will be? Because it's been years. No one knows, but I have a feeling it's sooner than we think. Shit is wild right now, yeah? No one knows the day, but just know this. Things is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Scriptures say you will not be able to tell man from woman. You will not be able to tell father from child. Or they said the father would turn on the child and the parents would turn on the child and the child would turn on the parent. Won't be able to tell man from woman. You won't be able to tell woman from man. Like these certain signs that we see that's in the scriptures, it's coming together, so you better get right now. All right, girl. All right, go down. We getting spiritual up in here. All right. Here we go. So, back to the question at hand. Do you think it's more respected by society when it's done for the purpose of monetary gain? When women throw them nudes out for monetary gain?
I kind of do, because honestly, everything is kind of ran by money, so I don't know. Everybody, like the modern person, like has this mentality of get the bag, by any means necessary. Because we got our scammers, drug dealers, on the side of men and whatnot. So as far as women go, women don't need an excuse to be able to post a picture online and be naked. You understand what I'm saying? So being as though they don't need an excuse to do it, when you have women that's just doing it for the bread, I don't know. I think society puts them on a more higher level, if you ask me.
So if you're doing it for money, you get more respect. False.
I don't agree.
Wrong.
I don't agree, but I just think that it's from a societal perspective. I don't think they get.
You're wrong again, Professor. Once again.
I think you're just saying I'm wrong just to say I'm wrong. But I don't think you believe I'm wrong.
I believe you're wrong. I think you get more respect from maybe hustlers, but I believe that the masses, when you go out there and you have that prostitute mentality, and you get OnlyFans and you start making money off your sexuality like that, I believe they view you as, prostitute type. I think you get less respect. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think the masses is like, what, OnlyFans? Huh? Excuse me? Oh, you out here selling your body? You automatically, just view that as a prostitute type mentality, like as a porn star, as opposed to these other girls that's just on social media that's getting more of the body positivity. I'm doing this because I'm free. I'm a female, feminism. They getting that type of respect for doing. I can do this. You know what I mean? But like when you start putting that money involved in it, you get that prostitute mentality, and I think a lot of people lose respect. People come at OnlyFans models all the time. Like, you feel me? Like, oh, you on OnlyFans? Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not respect worthy. You feel me?
I get it. Yeah. No, I agree that it's not respect worthy. It's a hard question because I think it's definitely 50-50. Being as though OnlyFans is so damn popular. OnlyFans is really, really popular. Therefore, you have a big majority of people out there that's saying it should exist and I'm going to pay for it. And then the other majority of people are the ones that's actually doing it. So you got the people paying for it, the people doing it, and the people that allow it to exist. That's a big majority of people telling women to go out and make money to put their nudes online. You understand what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Like, when you speak to people on an individual level and you ask them on a political correct standpoint, they'll maybe say, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that shit from bread, this, that, to the third. But as a whole, I think that society is kind of pushing the idea that, yeah, go out, you can do that. And like, this is another point I'll make with the women's circles. Like, they're definitely with the shits. Like, their friends are going to tell them. So you basically got a whole population of women, who already do it. Their friends are probably even up in the morning. So they're getting respect out of making money out of putting their posts on because they're getting the bag.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of disagreeing with you.
I agree with the concept that it shouldn't be that way, right? I agree with you on the concept that it shouldn't be that way. I just think that it's definitely half and half based off of the echo chamber.
I think you got women now that is going to. I think you got women now that that they also face the prospect if they go on OnlyFans of people saying, "Look, you're not working for what you're doing." Like if I post me, picture in my bathing suit, or she posts a picture in her bathing suit, scantily clad, half nudes, holding a joint, and she not getting paid for it. She's just doing it in her free expression of herself. I think people respect that a little bit more, as opposed to when you start making money from it, they view you like, yo, you took the easy way out. Like I'm here. Yeah, I posted my news, but I'm a nurse. Or I posted myself in a bathing suit, but I still worked hard for all the money I get. I still went to college. I still did something to make all of this bread. Like, when you start doing that path, you now got people feeling like, man, you taking the easy way out. So I think you're getting less respect on that aspect too. You feel me? You're getting way less respect from people. I know a lot of people that's like, even women giving you less respect. The same woman that will post herself halfway naked on her story, when you do it for money, she gonna be like, oh, you want OnlyFans? You taking the only way out. At least I work for my bread. You feel what I'm saying? Like at least I work for mine. You know what I mean?
I get it. That's why I'm on the fence with it. I really think it's 50-50 as far as the population.
You on the fence, so we gonna bring you right over to this fence, damn it. All right. So where we at?
On the edge.
Oh damn, it's 10 o'clock already. We're going to go 10 more minutes. We started a little late. Listen, big shout out to everybody that was in the chat. The chat was very lit tonight. Especially
it was.
On the restream. Because we get it from all platforms, our YouTube, our Twitch, our Instagram, our Facebook. Bigo, big shout out to everybody on Bigo Live that came through. They always got me lit. Always got, 100 plus viewers on Bigo. So that's always fire. You feel me? Like
the most chats we ever had on any podcast.
Tonight we reached one of the most chats we've had on all our podcasts. So big shout out to everybody. We had chats from everybody. Big shout out to our sponsor, New Life. New Life Legacies, New Life Clothing. Big shout out to Mr. New Life. They sponsored this episode. They're going to be sponsoring us in the future. And look, everybody who want to sponsor this podcast, who believe in us, believe in our content, believe in what we bring to the table, you watch this, you love this, don't be afraid to, like I said, like, share, comment, and subscribe, but also become a sponsor. We do this for y'all. We do this for sponsorships. We do this to grow. We do this to get better. So we want to make sure that everybody is doing what they need to do. Candace, we love you. She said 8:40. We started a little late. Yeah, we started a little late because we gave our guests the benefit of the doubt. We had, but, the show must go on. I never booking them niggas again. You know who you is. you dirtbags. You dirtbags. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to them for being the first guest who didn't show up. Like, this is our 15th episode. All of our guests have always showed up. You had one job. And shameful. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right. So, with that being said, we got 10 more minutes. I guess we'll get into our final thoughts. Why not? Get into our final thoughts. Professor, go ahead. You can talk slick. Even though you lost. You won the first round because I had to go.
Tell them to comment who won.
All right, who won? Comment, y'all.
Yeah, make
Two,
sure y'all
2 and
comment
1.
on that.
Comment. 2 for Professor, 1 for me.
All right.
I expect to lose like Jesus. Like Jesus lost to the masses. Like the professor lost. Like the professor lost today. All right. They said keep going. We want to keep going. We got 40 minutes left. All right.
it was always meant.
2 hours, right? She said, damn it, we got.
It was always meant for him to lose the debate.
I smoked you.
If anything, my quote of the day and my final thought, is one tends to meet their destiny on the road they take to avoid it. That's how I feel.
Hold on,
about
before
this
you get
debate.
into the final thought, people want us to keep going. Hey, don't be putting 2, Candace. Hey, baby, you better put a 1. You know who won, damn it. All right, so look. How has social media affected the way people interact and communicate with each other? That's right, bro.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna say this. This was one. This one was actually beneficial to society because the way people communicate, interact with each other. I think that it's kind of went up. You know, people are able to reach out to their family and friends a lot faster. You know, like and me, I didn't really care before. I didn't care about Facebook and Instagram, and I still have a mentality where I don't. Where responsibly speaking, I should. You know, being in the type of activities that I do, like battle rapping, podcasting. You know, it should be an importance to me. But then I see people that take advantage of it, just putting up stupid stuff, and it kind of throws me off a bit. But at the same time, like my grandmother, who she just recently, you know, got Facebook. You know, she has friends now. She be hitting me up, in which I'm not a person who likes to be on the phone or text a lot and whatnot. But I'll see that notification from a missed call from her or a message sent from her, and it's kind of new because it's my grandmother on Facebook. You know, so I think it's definitely changed a lot. You know. It's definitely
for the
changed
better
how-
or for the worse.
Yeah, I think it's definitely for the better. As far as that aspect of social media, I think interaction and communication with others has definitely changed for the better. You know, because it's enhanced. It's went up on a whole nother level. You know?
I think it has changed for the better as far as us being able to communicate with people across long distances and maybe even to stay connected with certain people from our past, like from high school and from different things. But as far as human interaction, it's absolutely been a detriment. We will sit on social media and comment on things, and we right across the dinner table from the person that we fucking talking to.
Facts.
We will get upset. I put a post out today. It's like kids happy, everybody fed, clothes in the closet, bills paid, vacation on the way, everything good, and you stressed out over a little blue app. You stressed out over social media. Social media gives you fear of missing out. Social media gives you the compare and despair effect to where you comparing yourself to the fictitious lives of everybody on social media because they'll post their new car, but they're not posting their eviction notice. So you're competing internally with a facade of an individual, but yet you'll still get the compare and despair effect and become a despairing person because you're comparing yourself to somebody you have no idea what their true struggles in life is. You understand what I'm saying? I be watching people on social media. I be like, damn, that nigga life good. Then boom, he'll just post some shit like, yo, depression is real. I'm going through it right now. I wear it. I don't wear it on my sleeve. People don't know, but everything is bad. I know people who are stars on social media that come into my place of business. I'm cutting their hair and they you know, spilling their whole life out to me. Telling me all of the drama that they're going through. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't see those things. And social media gives us a lot of negative effects that we take on ourselves, but also that we, you know, take on other people. We jealous of other people for no reason instead of being sympathetic towards them. We sitting at, you know, a dinner table with our wives and husbands and whatever, and we so more worried about putting our story out than we're worried about actually having a conversation with our significant other, seeing how their day went. We more worried about how our story looked and all of this, our boomerangs and this, that, and the third. So I think as far as human interaction and connection, it's an absolute detriment. Absolute detriment. You know, it's connecting with people without truly connecting with them. Yo, Candace and Kat is arguing. 1-2, 1-2. Who won? I love it. What you think on that? You agree?
Yeah, I honestly I couldn't disagree with you on that. Like I said, because what social media has done to the world overall, you know what I'm saying? So overall, it's definitely been a detriment. But you know, when we only talk about the category within social media of interaction and communication between others, and right, it's been good. But I don't disagree with the effect that social media has had on us.
So you
in
agree with me?
general,
So I
yeah.
won.
Yeah.
Candace, type
I
1.
didn't- No, that wasn't a debate, guys. You know, I don't think that was a debate right there.
All right. So that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. We didn't get to our last topic tonight, but we still did good. We still did good. Me personally, you know, we always have a full couch, but I like this. I like being able to talk to Professor, argue with him, get our points across. And big shout out to Draco Savage. He coming in next week. He's going to have an entire couch filled with him. He's bringing 5 people. He wanted to bring 10. I made him bring it down a notch. Shout out to our no good ass guest for not showing up. You piece of shit. You're banned. Shout out to our panelists. I mean our chat. Shout out to everybody on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Over 200 chats.
Bigo. We had over 200 comments today. Snap to y'all. That means I got to give out a lot of money.
Thank you.
I got to give out a lot of money because, you know, we give out every 100th comment, we give out a cash app. Every 100th comment. Okay? So,
we want to see that, though. We love the interaction with you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen. Bars? No bars?
Okay.
Bars. We bar on our way out.
Nothing crazy. I said my syllabic mindset combined with my lyrical conscience provides the idea for my concepts. But then what? Because there are the times that I get stuck. Here come the mind cramps where I just want to quit, but I can't. I remember I entered a mental contract, should have read into the fine print. So now you're going to get what you promised, because I'm done with the nickel and diamond. But don't think for a second that there's going to be an ounce of pain. I'm going to give you a pounding. If you have a track to respond with, great. I'm going back. I said, if you have a track to respond with, great. I'm going back to back on this rhyme shit, Drake. You can put it out on an album. I wouldn't pay 9 cents for that nonsense. All right, we done.
Woo!
Yeah, what you got?
I said, I got to go. Yeah, I got to get it. Yeah. A few in a row, yeah, till I'm at 1 million. I was wild as a juvenile out on the block. It's a shock that I'm not in the building. As a child, I was moving the product. I got to thank God that I'm not in the prison. Yeah, I'm not in the system. Yeah, was clocking and pitching, cooking and rocking the kitchen. That's when I got a confliction. I'm all on the block and I'm dugging and knocking the cop in the aqua collision. I thought it was hot till I talked to my pops. He told me, you got a decision. Told me to follow convention, to go get a job in the pension. I was all on the block with the henchman. That's when I got his attention. Told him I got a condition. That's when I got a commitment to try to stay out of detention, cause that's like a modern day lynching. I know I got it, I'm gifted. That's why I ain't stopping to quit it till I'm at the top of your list. I don't want your honorable mentions. Come for the spot and I tell everyone on the block that we got us a victim. I don't got a Glock, but the flow is so hot it'll leave you abdominal missing. Bars! Snap, 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 snaps. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week. Until next time. You stopped it? Oh, until next week, until next time. Same bat channel, same bat place. The Professor and Uncle Folk will be back next week on the DJ Focus Podcast with Professor Bars.